Hello everyone, this is Diane. I do not have a game plan for today, but I've been wanting to just do some stamping just for fun. So what I have out here are an assortment of acrylic blocks, Versamark ink. I've got assorted papers, scraps to stamp on, including some grungy things because I want to do some grungy stuff coming up soon, I hope. I pulled out just the top two pouches of book pages that I had in my drawer, and they happen to be crafts and sewing and reference. So maybe not a lot of images in these packs. And then these were just sitting on the floor in front of the drawer, so I grabbed those. These are these elementary mechanic, or that's just one, the book, International Correspondence Schools of Scranton, Pennsylvania. I got this whole collection of books and I sold some of them. And just these arithmetic pages. So these are pages I might play with. I have a stack of stamps to play with. I won't use all of these, but I just wanted to play around. And then I pulled out specifically these two wooden stamps because I've been wanting to use them more. I love this fine rubber stamps, and this is from Stampers Anonymous and Tiffany and Company, and that is from Stamp Francisco. You can Google it. I can't remember where. I had to get it online, and I got it years ago, so I don't know if it's still available. And I brought over my Distress embossing glaze. So these are sheer. You can see through these when you use them. So I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to pick something and start. I thought this would be fun to do some stamping on. I had sprayed through a stencil and then I laid it on top of this scrap paper. So it's the reverse stencil. And I thought it would be fun to use it. Maybe a lovely lady stamped on that. Let's see how that turns out. This is one of the Creative Expression stamps that was designed by Lorna Taylor. So I believe Creative Expressions has closed, and I was confused about it because I know Lorna had told me they were closing and they were selling off their inventory, but then I'm not sure if another stamp company bought some of their stuff. I don't know. I cannot tell you that. But anyway, you might be able to find some Creative Expressions things on eBay, or just Google it and see if you can see if anything comes up for it. And this particular set is from their Tailor-Made Journals collection. So let's see. I think I'll try stamping this in a brown color. This one is Pine Cone. I think I'll do it this way. I ordered this silicone mat from Amazon, and I don't know if I like it because things don't slide on it, but maybe that's a good thing. I see I've got some lines here, so I want to eliminate those lines. That didn't turn out very well. You know why? Because I didn't use my stamping mat, my pad. It's so funny. I haven't stamped in a long time, and in trying to organize and clean my room, I've had this mouse pad I just kind of move it from, you know, shift it here, shift it there. And the other day I was like, well, I know I used to use this. What did I use it for? And now I remember. This is what I used it for. Much better. I'm trying to get my paper cutter, but it's caught on something. This thing was stuck. Okay, I'm going to layer it on the black. This is just a copy paper, so it's not heavy, it's not thick. I've started tidying up down here, and that's what I should be doing right now, but I wanted to get a video made, and I wanted to just have a little playtime. So this could be a pocket if the page is wide enough, because I made this 5 3/4, it's a little over 5.5 inches wide. So that's kind of wide, but I do make journals, you know, kind of big sometimes. Or I could just tuck it into a pocket. I like it with that background. If I can find a little stamp to put on that. That one just says Paris or journal. This was stuck to the outside of this pouch, and it is coming off the rubber. I want to make sure I put it back in the right pouch. I don't think it goes in there. There's no empty spot there. Well, I will put it in a safe place and look for it. But for now, I think I'll stamp the word journal on this. I'm having some trouble with my left eye. I do get, occasionally I get, my eyelid gets swollen, my upper eyelid on that eye. And that's happened for years. And it just starts to feel, I feel a little sore spot on my eyelid near the lash line. And I know it's gonna, my eye's gonna fill up with fluid, my eyelid. And then it'll go away. But this time, it wasn't going away. It was worse. It was more sore. It was more swollen. So I went to the clinic, walk-in clinic today, and I got antibiotic pills and ointment to put in the eye. So it's difficult for me to see out of that eye. I'll just leave a little bit of that design that got stamped there. Guaranteed to be strictly high grade. it's just a good thing that I decided to not, every morning I thought, well, I think it's getting better. Maybe not in the morning because it was more swollen every morning, but it seemed like it was getting better. But I decided this morning that it really isn't. And it has, she said it has developed some cellulitis around the eye, not just the eyelid, and I can see a pouch like underneath my eye that is full of fluid. So cellulitis can be very bad. She said that can turn bad fast. But it's a good thing I went. Get it taken care of. I don't want to tear that because it's too close. I want it all cleared up before my vacation. Okay. All right, now I have this part of an old envelope, I think it was. Very water damaged and torn. It's fragile. It would have to be glued down to something, whatever I make with it. And I have some really cool stamps that I really haven't done much of anything with by Lorna, Tailor Made Journals. I wanted to get them before they were sold out when she told me that they were going out of business. And they're quite big. This looks like a little image here. Look how big it is. I'll just keep using that same brown ink. I like it. Teddy came over and had waffles with me for lunch. I made waffles yesterday, and I saved the waffle batter, and I'll have it for breakfast the next day usually. But I know he loves waffles, so I invited him over here to have waffles for lunch. So we did that. He chatted with me for a while. Now this isn't very porous. It's kind of almost, it's not glossy, but it has a finish on it. So if I went like that, I would smear that because it's still wet sitting on there. So I don't know. I think I will run my heat gun on it, see if I can dry it. If it doesn't dry, I'll have to emboss. I'll stamp it again and emboss it. Yep, that's fine. I can just leave it like that and tear it down to whatever size I want, because I like this shabby part here. Maybe I'll stamp something else on that. This looks like it would have been on an ad for an optometrist. Maybe I will emboss that with my embossing glaze. What color will I do? This is walnut. Okay, first I need my watermark stamp pad, the Versamark. It has no color except for, you know, black ink that I got on there. It stamps clear and it stays wet. It's got glycerin in it, so it's wet and sticky. And then I'll pour the embossing powder on it. And then melt the embossing powder. Looks like I got it all. And I'll use some black soot on this one. And I have to be careful because this is fragile. I can show you one thing I used to do. I haven't done it in a while. And that is using these little pieces of file folders after I've made tags and things. I think I have some more in here. Well, those are copy dyed ones. But I was mainly looking for the edge parts that have the ribbed lines, like the, what do you call it, scored lines. This one is one of the accordion fold things, and that's not what I was looking for. Let me see if I can find one. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Let's do this. This is a file folder, and I use the flat parts to make something with, and then I have those little score lines there, and they're fun to play with. I can still use those too. I use a stamp and a punch to make things with these. I didn't have all these Tim Holtz type of stamps when I was doing it before. Punch down. Well, I don't want to, I have to make sure that this square punch will fit, so I do need to keep that part on. So what I will do is just stamp a word or an image or something. And I didn't actually punch this shape out. Let me show you. So I guess I can tear this or cut it. I have to try to remember what I did with it. And this was, I was doing this when I had not nearly as many supplies as I have now. So I was being innovative, if you want to call it that. It's not like it's anything magical or mysterious. It was just using what I had, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I've inked it, and I will have to ink it again because I'm going to punch edges, and I want to make sure those score lines show up. You can see them a little bit. So then I just decided to take this scalloped punch and just punch an edge. And I guess I'll punch the other edge, maybe. See, it's nothing big, but I just thought it made a cool effect. This was before I was going to flea markets, and I didn't have a lot of vintage supplies, and I was making ephemera elements that I thought looked vintage, and I just decided to put that different kind of edge on it. I'm going to try just punching one in the middle here. It's like take a bite out of it. I think that's good. So it's just a fun little element to add to a journal page. Let me see if I can find those stamps I used to use for this. They were from 7 Gypsies, and they were really cool. Wait, is this one of them? One size fits all. No refunds, no exchanges. Yeah, they are here. Priceless. Those are the stamps I used to use. Okay, so let's do some more. Might as well make a few while we're at it. And my punch. So this punch is too wide for this strip, but I'm just going to punch it and it'll make whatever marks it can. And it's just going to be something I can staple or glue onto whatever I'm working on. Make it into a cluster. I liked making just little pieces to pretend they were vintage ephemera. In fact, I have a video from many, many years ago doing stuff like this. Okay, and then we have no refunds, no exchanges. have this other punch that's a label punch. And this is going to get cut off on the ends. So it's a funky shape. And I will ink the edges on those too. We're getting a fun little pile of ephemera here. I'm going to use this postcard stamp. And this little row of numbers. And you have seen me working on pages or tags or cards, and I look through my ephemera binders. I have the placemat ephemera holder that I made with the baggies, the Ziploc bags inside. I have one that's stamped pieces. So I just, when I'm making stuff, I go through that, and I have stuff ready made to just add to my collages or staple onto the edge of something. So it's fun to have a collection. Let me grab a stamp I'm thinking of to do a background on that. It's just a simple grid. And I have this crumb cake and Sahara sand. I want to see which one is lighter. It's pretty light. It's probably the one I'll use. I can never remember which one I like to use for this. They're both light. I'm going to use the first one. So it's just a little bit of a grid on the background. Okay, let's move on. This is the side that has, looks like alcohol inks on it. but I think I would like to use the lighter side. It's got some strawberries stamped right there, but I'll try to avoid that. And maybe I'll do this lady with the atomizer. She's spraying it in her eye. Maybe that's what I need. Something in an atomizer to spray in my eye. It's even got a little bit of a, it's like the edge of something. Kind of looks like bubbles, but it's probably this kind of a design. Anyway, it's in a, maybe a turquoise color there, very pale. So that'll be part of this design. So it's kind of fun to just take random things like this that you used for scrap and make things with them, because it's just so random. Oh, I forgot my pad. It turned out fine. It stamped fine. And the little aqua color is right across her face. But it's very subtle. So I think that's fun. I'm not using the book pages at all. I'm just taking scraps and stamping on them. I like that. It's going to be fun to use. Let's see. The strawberries are on that side, so I guess I'll use the bright side and stamp something on that. This is a photographer ad, and it's too big for this, but it's just going to be a partial stamp. And I think I'll do this in black. Don't want to forget this. And I want to put a paper over it so I don't stamp on it. Beautiful. So I need to do more with my inks so I get pages like this and this to play with. All right, I have this green craft packing paper. I want to use this grid again, I think. I don't know what's going to go on top of it. I don't remember which one of these I use now, but I'm just going to pick one. Oh, this was at the craft booth. I paid $2 for this grid stamp, and I can tell I'm going to use it a lot. I wonder how it would look to emboss one of these letters on top of that grid. And this powder that I'm using, as I said, is a glaze, so you can see through it, so you'll be able to see the craft color through it. And I think I will use, I kind of want to use these fluorescent ones. I mean, we're just playing. Let's try it out. I don't think they're fluorescent, but they're bright. This is a bright pink, and I think I may have gotten this at that craft booth too. It's unopened. I know I got some embossing glaze there. The craft booth, if you weren't familiar with that, is a booth at, oh, I was just letting that stuff dry there. At an antique mall, one lady bought someone's craft supplies, all kinds of papers and inks and stamps, old Stampin' Up wooden stamps and other kinds of stamps, and dies, and napkins, tons and tons of napkins. And she's selling them for, I think, $1 a napkin. But anyway, that's where I got that grid stamp and this color of embossing ink, and that lime green too. I don't remember what else. I don't remember what I used to have and what I just got. So because it is transparent and it's stamped on craft paper, it's not the bright pink anymore. It darkened because of the craft that you can see through it. So that's kind of neat. I'll do a different number in a different color. Let's try that green. This angle, with me looking down at it, it looks olive. If the light shines through it, I can see a bit of the lime. think I know what I would like to make when I come back from vacation, now that I'm done with Christmas. So I think I know what I want to do. I'm just going to show you what we did today, because I think we are at the end of our time. And I got a nice fun little pile of ephemera here that I can use in future projects. So what I want to do is something I started. I love those. I really like them. I want to make a whole set of numbers, a whole collection that I can just use freely. Not too long ago, it was after I moved in here, I was watching a video, and I think it was Meg Journals, and I was so inspired by how she was making her pages and putting them in her journal. So I came down here the next day and just did what she did. Oh, I'm not showing them to you. I'm just looking for things to ink. Okay, there's that. And I know I showed you the results of what I did that day, but it's been sitting and waiting for me to have a chance to get back to it, and I want to make one to put in my shop too. So I showed you those. That's what I'm hoping to do when I get home from Disney. These are so fun. I could make these all day long. I could add other elements to these, and I might do that. Like there's room here to stamp something else, or kind of stamp it partly on top of that, you know, layer things up a little bit. I'll ink around this too. Love this one. And I love this one. That was a really fun session. Now I'm going to put all these things away, and hopefully, what time is it? Yeah, I can spend an hour cleaning in here. And I'll be back with another video. I think I'll just be making some playing videos like this. Maybe even start a glue book, because I don't want to start a journal. Or maybe I'll get a journal started that I can finish when I get home. But I just want to have fun and not feel pressure. I've been feeling pressured for a long time with moving and then trying to get projects done within a certain timeline and everything. So it's just time to play. So hopefully there will be more videos for you before I go, and maybe I'll even have some extras to fill in some of the days that I won't be here, because I'll be gone for 10 days. So we'll just see what happens. Like, I don't want to feel the pressure that I have to have those videos done. I'm just going to take it as it comes, because I have to get ready to go too. So anyway, sorry if I'm just babbling, but you'll see some more just playing videos, and who knows, I'll just decide at the moment what I want to do. But I will see you in another video. I hope you come along to see what I do next and play along with me. I'll see you then. Have a creative day. Bye.